nobody's just gonna sit still, or at least most of the time. Then once you get comfortable with farther. Maybe even look up here a little bit. And practice up top. Because you have to keep in mind that you're not always going to be sitting level. SMG is also a bad idea for really far range. But you know, if you grab, you know, sniper, obviously. I prefer sentinel and longbow. I'm not really a big fan of the charge rifle, personally. I know a lot of people that are though. And what else is there? Right here you got 2 and 4 times. That's also a nice one. I'm not like the greatest shot at this very moment, but let me actually grab it mag really quick. Also, your stocks and stuff, they help you out with your aim. This reduces recoil. If you have a gold mag, it just auto does everything. Like reloading, you know, so if I swapped, it'll auto reload. Also, firing burst shots is also pretty nice, because it helps you with your. You also want to keep in mind that your recoil is not going to stay still. It's always. You just gotta find out the pattern of where it moves. Sometimes if you move around a little bit, like just sideways like this really quick, that can help out at times. You also do not want to aim in too often when you're super close, because something can happen and they can just. My sensitivity is a little.
Throw my grenade out.
Grenades are really nice for breaking open doors. Maybe somebody just threw something in there.
Throwing thermite grenade.
So, let's say like if you use this bubble, you throw
Making contact with enemy.
everything in arc sword. That's what I prefer personally. Because if you can
throwing
them,
arc star.
you know, sticking does on top of that. It would just finish them off. It makes it really nice.
Arc star out. Frag out. Frag out.
Thermites though, thermites are really good for just getting burn damage. Like if you just went like this, like
thermite grenade out.
Or through a window, you might get a little bit of damage. It's really nice to do that. You won't stand in it too long, but if you're able to knock off their shots, you can pretty much go in for an easy rush as long as you know how many people there are. Because, like, let's say that there's this
contact
spaced out.
Contact with
like
hostile.
This. 2 different buildings and everything. They're both the same team, and you know that one fact. if you went like this, let's say like right here,
Thermite grenade out.
to help them reach one of their teammates, you can do that. Come have another person.
Hostile close.
on the
We should go
right
here.
side, take down that person.
I'm out of light
right
ammo.
to the other side, and then try and finish them off. Or crap, wrong spot again. Also, you gotta get used to like different scopes. Scopes can be a real pain when you're not used to them.
Throwing Arc Star. Arc Star out. Throwing Arc Star.
Like right there, like just 3 arc stars just killed that with full armor. Yeah, red armor. Also, armor difference, for example. Let's say they've got red armor, but I cracked them. I've only gotten the gray, you know, the common armor. You usually do not want to push that, but if you're able to get them completely weak
Arc Star out.
and to a point where they can't run away, that makes for an easy kill. Or if you okay, that was like terrible example because I just accidentally killed him. Okay, but you lasered him like that, and you had just a common armor. As long as you're able to rush them before they fully heal. That's perfect. If you both have red armor, I guess, you know, rush them off the bat. If they're solo, maybe even duo. But you want to like find out who they are. Like, if they're Bloodhound, they're going to probably know where you're at the entire time. If the enemy's Caustic, you know that they could place a bubble, or even their ult, and if they place their ult, if you're outdoors, you may just get screwed over. If they're Lifeline, so like let's say that this one right
Contact
here
with
is
hostile.
Lifeline, and you got
Contact.
anyone else, I guess we'll just go with the Bloodhound. You want to or just, you know, knock or whatever, and then go to the Bloodhound. Because if you kill the Bloodhound and then you fall back to go and heal a little bit, that gives the Lifeline an opportunity to just turn around and then turn around and heal up as well. Because since she has a drone, it just makes it extremely easy for her to do that. Even playing these challenges that they just added, I mean, this is another thing that you can do. With your aim. It helps you get adjust to not only the weapon, but the ammo type, the recoil, the scope. I personally prefer this scope with oh crap, what is it called? The wingman, you know? Most people use the ×1 just as a pistol or the red dot. But I like the ×2 because, you know, I use it kind of like a marksman or a sniper. it just makes it really easy to use it as a sniper or a marksman. Because it has like the single shot and stuff. So it makes it really easy. Let me think here. Another thing. LMGs. You gotta get used to that as well. Mainly I prefer just using weapons that you personally For SMGs, I recommend just whatever you like. Crap, and of course I just missed them again. I personally like the Alt and the R9. I mean, they're really good. You can also use the Prowler, which is a 5-burst weapon. And honestly really like it as well. But like, you can't use it at medium range or far. Because, you know, it's got like the little burst and it moves one shot at a time. But if you use the Prowler, you can also use the RE45, which I personally like this combo. I use it every now and then. Then I get the ×2 scope for it, 4×1. I'll even swap both the scopes at times just to kind of adjust. If like, what I'm trying to do, I want to use an automatic, I'll use change the scope depending on if I'm going to be close range. Also, if you use this, the hammer point rounds, it will wipe out your enemy even faster. Shield. Now, let's say that you're playing a ranked match. Now, if you're playing a ranked match, you want to stay together with your team. I've had so many different random teammates that would rather go off and do their own thing, and then turn around and die and blame you as a result. It definitely sucks. For that, you know, there's nothing really much you can do other than play with someone you know, or you could just go out and find someone that you actually can play with. But if something happens and you're stuck just having 2 people instead of 3, then you'll want to play farther range instead of close. As long as you can hold wherever you're at, so like let's say that
Let's go this way.
you're up there and you have a team rushing you, depending on what legends you're playing as, you might just want to just stay. As long as you're able to defend the spot you're at right now. If not, you're just going to want to leave and hope that you can get shots on the entire team, depending on how important it is, and hope that you can eventually take them out. Also, holding height. Obviously, holding height's the best thing you can do. But if you're stuck by yourself and you end up just ratting, I guess, holding height is probably not the best idea you can have, because if you just turn around and hold up height, everybody's gonna practically have the same idea as you, or at least a big amount of the people in your lobby. So I recommend just staying kind of low for a bit. So like, if there's a team up there,
We should go here.
team over there, maybe one over here, and then
Let's explore this way.
kind of scattered throughout, you know? You're just gonna want to find a place down on the bottom, like right here. Right here, they can't see
Might
me
be
over
something
there.
good this way.
They won't even pay attention to me because they're
Might be
fighting
something good
them.
this way.
Same
Forget
for them,
that.
they're fighting this team.
Enemy spotted.
And
Let's go this way.
Those two teams trying to get damage on each other, it really makes it nice for you to be able to rotate to wherever the zone may come off to. Also, I recommend carrying shield bats way more than cells, but you want at least 4 cells in your inventory. If not 4, maybe about 8 or so. You can just use them for late game if you get damaged at a time. You could just I prefer using a bat. Let's see here. Wrong armor. So, actually, I'll just work from this really quick. Alright.
Throwing thermite grenade. Thermite grenade out.
So let's say instead of how I have 2 bars of shield, you just have 1 instead of 2. I recommend just using a bat if you have one. If you do not, obviously. Or you could just play it off a little bit. Get less, like, you know, to your HP, then just use one. Or a Phoenix kit. Isn't really like that big of a deal, but you do want to make sure you don't get into your HP. At least I try not to.
I'm out of light ammo.
Fighting or rushing someone, I try not to get into my HP. I'll try and just because it works out perfectly well. Also, depending on if you play controller, I play controller. I say try and like work being able to crouch and shoot at the same time. No matter if you're on a controller, PC, no matter what you're on, you want to practice crouching and shooting. Usually when you see somebody and you're fighting, they're doing one of 2 things, either one, standing or just crouching and shooting. Don't get me wrong though, just crouch. I know your hitbox is obviously smaller, but if you move around or crouching, it makes yourself way much of a harder target than usual. And if you're just doing one of 2 things, either if you're moving like this, you're extremely slow, unless, you know, however you're revving it. If you're going like this, you know, you're a bit faster, but at the same time, you're just a bigger hitbox. Like this, you know, you're going all over the place. You're not only a harder target, but, you know, you're able to keep yourself on them, shooting them the entire time. you're making yourself a harder target for them to shoot, and you're able to just completely shred them. I recommend having one of these scopes as well. If you have 2 SMGs or an AR and SMG, just at least carry this. It works for pretty sure all the pistols, all the but I highly recommend because if you have a bingo, you could just get caught. Because I know usually I see a lot of bingos carrying these optics. They're really nice optics, honestly. Just something to keep in mind. Now, when I use 2 SMGs or maybe a wingman or a pistol and an SMG, I make sure I carry it 2 times and 1 times, no matter what. So that way I can always switch them out if I ever need to.
I'm out of heavy ammo.
Something I don't really see many people doing. It's something I personally really enjoy doing, because, you know, you might just need it. There might be a time you're in the middle of fighting somebody and you're running away and all you have is super close optics and you could barely see it. Or you don't have any optics at all because you refuse to pick something later in the match. If you just carry 1 times, 2 times, anything far and close range, or maybe you just prefer carrying only far range, then I know that there are some people out there that will use like only 2 times, like there's some people out there that do not like it, and that play like close range with far range scopes. I'm gonna say that's a bad idea, but if you're new or just somebody that's coming back, you need something far and close. It's just really nice to have. Some people just have some amazing vision and will use like close range super close, which is honestly just crazy. But I mean, like, as long as you know what you're doing, like, if you prefer playing only close range, I mean, definitely just carry some close range, but if you like then you'll find out it's extremely nice to have 1 of each. You might even want to consider practicing in here a bit. I don't personally really do that unless I'm I put it on here or we're about to run a tournament or something. Then, you know, practicing in here is definitely. But yeah, you want to like get used to at least most of the scopes. There are some scopes I just cannot stand. Like these ones right here, just these 2 right here. I just can't use them. sometimes I will use this one. If it's the only one that's around me, I will use it. Just for the fact that it's something that you can kind of use for far and close range. You know, like that's not too bad. It's definitely not my favorite kind of. Definitely. I personally prefer this one. Especially this one, just because it's got a straight shot on it. Really cannot far away. Even if I swapped them, I still really can't. One of the major things you gotta do is practice your recoil for your weapons, whether you're practicing in-game or in-game. Now, I mean, since Apex has something like that, you know, where you can genuinely practice in-game with all the weapons in the game as well, it really makes this definitely like the #1 most thing you can do. You know, most people go into like aim trainers and stuff like that, practice their aim, but I prefer this just because you can actually get a feel for the weapons exactly how they You can even try different techniques if you're playing with a friend. That's pretty much it though, that I really wanted to cover. On YouTube. Currently I'm streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/the_inferior_YT. I recommend you should sub to the channel. I'm trying to stream, you know, maybe 5 out of 7 days of the week. I'm also not gonna put too much stuff on my YouTube because different things take a really long time for me to edit because I don't have like a PC or anything good like that. I do everything off my phone, so it takes me a while. But yeah, I definitely recommend going over there and checking out Twitch. I'm probably streaming at this very moment. So, yeah. Definitely recommend going to go check it out. I keep my stream sometimes for Twitch drops as well. Maybe just in chat or just doing something that I gotta get done. Or not even at home, but you know, you can still get different types of games depending on where hey, anything I missed in here, just please let me know, comment. Also, shout out to Lil Cop for subbing me on Twitch, and Dave. I mean, you're really big help. But that's all I wanted to really cover. I know that he was really wanting advice as well as wanting to watch. Just because new to Apex, so I wanted to help him out a bit. He helped me.